Hello, welcome Expedians. Welcome to Stretch and Mobility. I'm Rachel and I'll be your instructor this morning. So this class is mainly to kind of mobilize us, right? Stretching out those muscles and tendons to relieve any kind of joint pain that comes with just getting stiff and not moving too much. And then we'll also do a little bit of muscle activation in the first couple exercises, just to warm up those muscles a little bit. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna lie flat on our mat here. On your back, I want you to bring some awareness to your breath. How is it moving in and out of your body? Is it rising your chest, your shoulders, your stomach? Or are you pulling breath in? I want you to pull your hands to your rib cage here on either side and practice breathing into your stomach and out. Try and expand your ribs and your stomach before your chest rises. And breathe out. Starting and ending with the stomach. The stomach rises, everything else follows, and the stomach sinks. Push your breath out. Now I'm going to drop my hands to my sides, bring my legs up into a 90-degree position here. I'm going to think about, as I push my breath out, pulling my belly button into my spine and pushing my lower back into the floor right here. I'm going to keep that pressure the whole time, no arch in that lower back, as I drop one toe to the ground, keeping that bend in my legs as if there was a tennis ball I was holding behind my knee. I'm trying to keep it there. Only as low as we can without letting that back arch, keeping that abdominal activation. You might rise one arm above the head as that leg drops. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Keeping those ribs connected to your abdomen here. Nice engaged core. A few more here. Last 5, 4. Keep that engagement. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And drop those feet down to the ground. We're going to sit up here now on our wrists or on our fists. We're going to do hip lifts, really trying to engage in our glutes here, getting those muscles working. I'm going to point my fingers out, or you can be up on the fists. And I'm going to lift my hips high, keeping my back flat the whole time. From the back of my head all the way to my tail is in a nice straight line, moving up and down like a teeter-totter. Bending at my hips and pushing the hips to the sky. We're going to go last 10. 9, 8, 7. As much weight on your hands as you have on your heels. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, good. Always activating the glutes and in the abs, because these are the muscles that really keep our lower back stable. And with those muscles activated, throughout the day we can help prevent lower back pain associated with lack of movement. Great. Next, let's go ahead and take it into a flow here. I'm going to come into a downward dog position, so really pushing my hands to the floor, relaxing my head as my hips go high. And find your breath in this position right here. Feel your shoulders draw down your back, hacking away from the ears. Maybe my hands are a little turned out. Find that position that's comfortable for your shoulders. Now I'm going to think about tucking my tail and engaging in my lower abs, pulling the belly in as I roll forward into a plank position. Still keeping my shoulders down. And I'm going to slowly lower to the floor. So my chest hits, uncurl my toes. And then I'm going to roll my shoulders back for a little bit of an arch here. Relax back down, curl the toes, and back into downward dog. I'm going to go through that flow again, tucking my tail into a plank position. Slowly lower to the floor, all the way to your chest. Untuck the toes, roll those shoulders back, and maybe curl a little bit higher this time, squeezing in my glutes. Shoulders are back. I'm not trying to load my lower back so much as I am. Get a little abdominal stretch. Engage my glutes. Untuck my toes, or tuck them back in. And back into downward dog. Relax the head between your hands. We're going to go through that 2 more times here. Tucking the tail as I roll forward, slowly lower to the ground. Come up on the fists if that feels better for your wrists here. Lower all the way. And you can go into a half bend here, or pressing up on the hands for a full arch. Shoulders are rolled back, chest to the sky, just as far as it's comfortable, and then come back down. Bring your toes back under and press downward dog. Deep breath in. 1 more time here, tucking your tail to plank. Slowly lower down. Roll those shoulders back to arch. Breathe in, breathe out, and downward dog. And take a breath, and we're just going to pedal the feet here. Last bit of motion in this position. And you're going to find the way to the top of your mat. Either jump or step forward. I'm going to push the weight onto the heels of my feet. Grab my elbows. And let my back loosen. Just hang. Breathe into your stomach and out. I'm going to slowly roll as I walk my hands up my legs here all the way to the top and roll my shoulders back and down. Next, I'm going to take a long step back, bringing my arms up. I'm going to drop my chest to the top of my thigh here, feeling a stretch in the hip as I come back up, feeling the glute of this leg activate as I drop. I'm going to swing my arms back, drop my chest down, still keeping equal weight in my feet, maybe a little bit more in my front foot here, pushing that front foot through the floor, bring the arms up. That's 1, going for 10. 2. Nice, slow and controlled. 3, reaching to the sky. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Whew, good. And open those hips up, pivoting my back foot towards the sidewall here and resting my front arm on my front thigh. And take a breath here. I'm going to do 3 arm circles forward, nice and close to the ear. And 3 back. I'm going to pivot my palm to face the direction that my arm is rolling back. And we'll take a side stretch here, either on your thigh, or you can deepen it by straightening that front leg and reaching to the inside ankle. Whatever feels best today. And rising back up here, pivoting my foot back forward. I'm going to step together and step back on my other side. Reach those arms high, and we're going to drop the chest for 10. Rise back up. 9. Come back up. Just slight bend in that back leg. As much as you need to keep that upright posture when you come back up. 6. 5. 4. Nice, slow and controlled. 3. 2. And 1. Opening up those hips. Leaning onto that front leg. 3 arm circles, both directions. And when you're ready, take a side stretch here. Straightening that leg for a deeper stretch, if you so desire. And when you're ready, rise back up. Pivoting forward and step back together. Now we're going to face the side wall here and take a nice long, wide stance, pointing my toes out. I'm going to push my hands together here and slowly lower down as far as I can, maybe even getting the elbows to the inside of my thighs. Then dropping my hands to the floor, rising my hips, and slowly roll up. Back to the top, flattening out my back, hands together, lower down, elbows to knees, thighs, drop the hands, lift the hips, and roll up. A few more here, hands together, flat back, drop low, hands to the ground, rise the hips, and roll up. Hands together, lower down, pushing those feet into the floor, lift those hips, and roll up. Last one, hands together, lower down, hands to the floor, hips lift, and roll up. Good, all right. Let's step it back together here. I'll just take a basic quad stretch. I can do this standing right here as I grab at my ankle, or this can also be done on the ground on my side. Breathe through this stretch for a few seconds. Pointing your knee to the ground or the side wall if you're lying on your side. Hips are forward, squeezing the glute of that leg that you're pulling. Deep breath in and out. Go ahead and release and switch legs here, either standing or on your side. Deep breaths in and out. All right. Now we're going to finish with some hip stretches on the floor. We'll cat and cow and child's pose today. So go ahead and bring it down. Let's sit on my mat here. Now I'm going to tuck one heel underneath me, all the way under, trying to point that knee forward. I'm going to pull my other leg over, just over that knee. I'm going to try and sit up tall here, grabbing onto my leg. Now I'm going to reach across this leg and gently twist. A little bit of spinal stretch as I stretch the side of this hip here. If you want a little deeper stretch, you can bring your arm all the way over and try and twist behind you. Last few seconds here, breathe in, out. Now we're going to take our bottom leg and we're going to push our knee into our calf here as I come up into a figure four stretch. And then I'm just going to lean onto my back, reach through, and gently pull on that thigh. A little deeper stretch, you might even grab the bottom of your foot and gently put some pressure on that upper leg. Breathe in and out. Any tension or worries for you have for the day, release in that stretch. And drop the leg down. I'm going to roll back up. Let's go ahead and switch legs here. Pulling the other leg underneath me. Swinging that knee forward. Other leg comes just over that knee. Sit up nice and tall and reach across for your twist. Grab at the leg here or bring your arm all the way over. Try to keep that shoulder active. I don't want to be loose in my shoulders here, keeping that nice tall posture. Breathe in and out. And when you're ready, go ahead and take that bottom leg and push that top leg up as you bring your foot to the floor. We'll roll back and reach through for that hip stretch. Feel how much more room your belly has to breathe here. Breathe into the belly, expand your rib cage out, and breathe out. Releasing your tension for the day. Getting ready to recenter and focus. In the stretch, however you feel right. When you're ready, roll up. And we're going to come into a tabletop position here for cat and cow. I'm going to roll my shoulders back to arch. I don't want to just be arching in my lower back, right? I really want to pull those shoulders down my back to lift my chest and my head. Breathe in. And tuck the tail to round. Breathe out. Roll those shoulders back to arch. And tuck the tail to round. At your own pace. I'm going to do one more here before we finish up today. I'm going to go for a shoulder sweep or snow angels. I'm going to lie on my side with my arms out in front of me, one on top of the other. Knees at about a 90-degree angle right here. And I'm going to keep my head lifted as I take my top arm, and I'm going to brush my fingers on the floor, trying to keep them there as long as I can. I'm going to tuck my head under my armpit, look to the ceiling as I open my chest. Up, still keeping my hips stacked here. Don't let your hips fall back. And then I'm going to try and sweep back, touching my fingers to the floor as soon as I can, following my head with my hand as I come all the way back to the center. Do two more on that arm. I'm going to keep my fingers on the ground as long as I can before I lift and open that chest up, bringing my arm horizontally to the other side. Stretch there as long as you need to, and when you're ready, bring those fingertips back to the floor. Roll all the way back. Slight bend in our arm here, not perfectly straight. If you have any kind of shoulder tension, tightness, feel free to bend your arm as much as you need to. Lift your fingers off the ground when you need to. Remember, you should feel that tension, that stretch, but never pain. When you're ready, roll to the other side. Last three. Brushing my fingertips on the floor. Rotating my head under my armpit, eyes to the ceiling as I open. Then bringing my hands back to the ground as soon as I can. Roll back. 3 rolls here at your own pace. Keeping my hips stacked. And when you're done, we'll finish in child's pose. Nice wide knees, sitting back on your heels, and rest your forehead to the ground. And walk your hands to one side and rest. And walk your hands to the other side. When you're ready, come back to the center. I'm going to bring my forearms to either side here. Pushing back onto my heels. I'm going to slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. Walking my hands with me and rolling my shoulders down at the top. Lifting my chest up. And that is it, all I have for you today. Thanks so much for joining me, Expedia. Stay safe, stay healthy, and connected. We'll see you next time.